It's almost 8 p.m. at Pick n Pay Protea Glen on Sunday, 4 May. Customers are wrapping up their shopping and queues are moving a little faster. Everyone wants to get back home. The shop is closing. Sinenhlanhla Mathonsi, one of the cashiers at the shop, is at the till and she's also looking to finish up and cash in her till, close shop and go home. At exactly 10 minutes to 8, Sinenhlanhla's ex-boyfriend enters the shop. He passes through security with a knife. He approaches Sinenhlanhla's till in full view of customers and stabs her multiple times. Sinenhlanhla screams for help in agony, but he doesn't stop. He continues to stab her until she dies. By the time security approaches Sinenhlanhla's till, it's already too late. This is the painful story of 22-year-old Sinenhlanhla Mathonsi. Welcome back to True Crime with me. My name is Julia. On this channel, we profile true crime cases that have rocked South Africa. Today's case was requested by one of us here, Faith Stolville 2662. Thank you so much for turning our attention back to Sinenhlanhla's story. It shows that she will never be forgotten. So the story is well covered in the media and it is one of the fairly new ones. So because it is still a court matter, please note that it is based on allegations and we appreciate any form of additional information, any corrections, and us having a conversation on this case in the comments. So let us get into the story. On a quiet Sunday evening, inside the Protea Glen Mall in Soweto, what should have been just another work shift for 22-year-old cashier Sinenhlanhla Mathonsi turned into a nightmare that has left her family, her community, and South Africa in shock. She was young, she was ambitious, and had her whole future ahead of her. But instead of preparing to celebrate her 23rd birthday, her family had to prepare for her funeral just weeks earlier. This is the story of how a young woman was brutally stabbed to death by her boyfriend. Right inside the Pick n Pay supermarket, this is where she worked. We dig deep into the events leading up to the attack, the unanswered questions about safety and security, and the fight for justice for Sinenhlanhla. So let us start by getting to know Sinenhlanhla from the little information that we have about her from online sources. So we do know that she was originally from KZN. She was an orphan and she was raised under the care of her guardian, Lungile. She had recently matriculated and she was the eldest of her siblings. She was from humble beginnings, so when she got a job, she became a breadwinner at home. In one of the interviews, her guardian Lungile states that Sinenhlanhla was a quiet child. She says Sinenhlanhla was secretive as well about her private life and they didn't even know that she was dating. Lungile said Sinenhlanhla had plans of studying further, but her main goal at the moment was taking care of everyone else at home and waiting for her siblings to complete their matric before she takes on her further studies. She started working at the Pick n Pay at Protea Glen Mall just 5 months before the incident. It is not yet clear how her relationship with 26-year-old Anele Kula started, but what we do know is that she had broken up with him. Some reports say the breakup happened not too long before the incident occurred. On May 4, 2025, at around 10 minutes to 8, shoppers inside Pick n Pay Protea Glen Mall witnessed a scene straight out of a horror movie. According to reports, Anele, who worked at a nearby Boxer store, entered Pick n Pay armed with a knife. Without warning, he walked up to Sinenhlanhla's till and he began stabbing her multiple times in the upper body. Eyewitnesses say her screams echoed through the store as she cried for help. Some say she was dragged by the suspect while bleeding, yet no one intervened in time. By the time police arrived, it was too late. Sinenhlanhla had already succumbed to her injuries. Anele was arrested on the spot. His eyes were swollen, his face was bruised. He appeared in court just days later. In court, prosecutors confirmed that this was not a random act of violence. It was premeditated murder. News of Sinenhlanhla's attack rocked the whole country. Her murder quickly went viral, and everyone had the same question in mind. And her guardian Lungile spoke out with pain and anger. She asked, "How did this man stab our daughter multiple times? What was security doing? Wasn't her first scream enough to call for help?" Her family then started demanding to see the surveillance footage from Pick n Pay to understand what happened that night. For them, the biggest question remains, how could a man walk into a supermarket with a knife and brutally kill someone without being stopped? Pick n Pay released a statement expressing shock and sent their condolences. They said, "We sent our deepest sympathies to her family. No other staff or customers were harmed, and counseling has been provided to employees who witnessed this tragic incident." But for the family, this response is not enough. They want accountability. Lungile accused Pick n Pay of being evasive, saying the company seemed to be acting dodgy. The family insists they will not be silenced and are considering legal action. For them, this is about more than just grief. It's about justice, safety, and dignity. However, in the midst of everything, the family did manage to offer Sinenhlanhla a decent burial with the support of her colleagues, her friends, and her close community. Meanwhile, Anele appeared at the Protea Magistrate Court. This is where he abandoned his bail application. So he remains in police custody, with the case being postponed for further investigation. The state argues that the crime was premeditated murder. Anele faces the possibility of a life sentence if convicted. Understood. Uma-ke lukuqala elifana naleli uhlale wazi ukuthi-ke isigwebo esishicilele ukuthi lika-JPS. Understood. The Protea Glen community is still shaken. Shortly after the incident, the store closed the next morning and a prayer vigil was held outside Pick n Pay. Colleagues, friends, and neighbors gathered to mourn Sinenhlanhla. They held candles and demanded action against gender-based violence. Even city officials weighed in, with the Public Safety MMC Mncini Tswaku calling for improved security in public spaces like malls and supermarkets. On social media, the outrage was also immediate. Thousands of people shared Sinenhlanhla's story, calling her death another painful reminder of South Africa's ongoing battle against femicide. Sinenhlanhla was just 22 years old. She would have turned 23 in a few weeks' time. She had dreams of studying further, building a career, and giving her younger siblings a better life. Her life was stolen away from her in one of the most brutal ways imaginable. Not in a dark alley somewhere, not in her home even, but at her workplace, a place where she was supposed to feel safe. Her family is not just mourning a daughter, a sister, and a guardian figure. They are mourning lost potential, a stolen future. This case is still ongoing and we will continue to follow every update. For now, Anele remains in custody and Sinenhlanhla's family is still demanding answers from Pick n Pay. But this tragedy raises a much larger question for all of us. How many more young women must die before gender-based violence is truly confronted in South Africa? What are your thoughts on the story? What do you think was happening when the incident occurred? And why did security take time when Sinenhlanhla was being attacked? Let's talk in the comments. Do stay safe. I will see you on the next one.